Hello.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, you start.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you attended yesterday. Unfortunately, we couldn't complete the whole presentation yesterday. So I will be taking a few minutes of Harish's presentation today in order to complete what I think is important for you to, know for placement. Yeah. First of all, I would like to, give some general advice regarding the whole process to be conducted so that you can improvise a little bit. Okay. The first one is creating a LinkedIn profile. Okay. Be it if you are going for a core company or a software company, it's very important, to create a LinkedIn profile. Why I'm stressing this out is that because you can actually follow companies which you are interested in actually, so that you can know what their requirement is, what they are doing in the current industry trend, and you can also follow members of the community who will be giving out a lot of information regarding career opportunities or study preparations like that. So please try to create a LinkedIn profile, follow some companies and people so that you can have a better future. Okay. So the second thing I also wanted to stress out is that skill track. Okay, try practicing. Okay, try learning. A few languages beyond Python also. First of all, if you haven't fully mastered Python, I would recommend you to first master Python fully. Go practice it out. Okay, and then move on for either C or Java. C or Java are the core basis of foundation. If you aren't allowed to code in Python, it will be very easy if you know either C or Java so that you can code the same in any interview process. Okay? And also, I would like to say that please learn recent technologies, at least know them. What are they? It's like cloud, blockchain, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So many are there right now in this industry. I would recommend you to just go have a brief session about it or learn it from the internet. Okay, if you are interested, try to gain more knowledge inside it. Okay, and also if you have time, actually see this lockdown is kind of an opportunity to everyone. Okay, you are getting a lot of time which we weren't getting in the college days. Okay, so since this is a huge opportunity for us, I would recommend you to go, pursue, do some courses online like Udemy, Coursera, Udacity, whichever you like, whichever course you like. Okay, doesn't matter. It helps you in creation of projects. Okay, at the final stage. Okay, and also I would like to stress out the importance of NPTEL. See, NPTEL is a great initiative by IITs and NITs where they help you to go beyond the scope of syllabus from the college and into deep down into particular subjects. Okay, it's not important that you need to get a certificate. What is more important is that you learn something out of it. Okay, you learn from the courses they are giving. Please watch their videos, understand it's all available for free online. Okay, you can go pursue any course if you want. Okay, and also, see, SkillTrack is a basic platform. Okay, it's not the whole coding process which is happening in the world. Okay, it helps you in creation of starting a language, understanding basic syntax and everything, and also helps you to practice them out using simple and medium problems. Okay, but on the brighter side of the view, if you go to Zoho or product-based companies, you will see somewhat even harder coding problems, which will be kind of tricky. Okay, so I would also recommend you to go through Geeks for Geeks, HackerRank, LeetCode for practicing some advanced problems. They also have medium and easy problems, but I would ask you to go and visit them. I try them. Okay, it's not that you need to pass all test cases. See for solutions, how they are proceeding, everything. Okay, Geeks for Geeks is a wonderful platform. It has every placement papers of every company which is there. Okay, you can go through them. Every company, whatever their processes, whatever their papers, previous placement papers are there. Everything is put out there, and also some experiences. See, myself, I'm just a single person who have attended all these companies. Okay, there are multiple people who have gone for various kinds of placements from various companies who have shared their whole experience in Hacker Geeks for Geeks. Okay, so go visit them, see whatever company you like, go visit them and have a glance of how they are going through the process and how they are getting selected. Okay, regarding AMCAT, okay, see AMCAT is such a wonderful platform for you to practice quants. Okay, there is no platform anywhere for you to practice quant, verbal aptitude, everything. Okay, AMCAT, yeah, gives you that in a examination kind of environment so that you can practice them and know where you stand in the whole college. Okay, it's such a wonderful opportunity given by our college. Utilize them. Okay, that's all I would like to say in general advices. Moving on, regarding placement. Okay, see, placement is something very important in everyone's life. See, these are some points which we felt, okay, we as final years felt is very important, okay. The mistakes which we did, I would like to say it as advices for you, okay. The first and very important thing, see, wherever you go for an interview, it's very important that you create a perfect resume, okay. What just after you sit for an interview, the interviewer will be asking for your resume, and that's the only paper which will be saying everything about you. Okay, they don't know you personally. Okay, so they want something from your side to make sure the interviewer understands who you are, what you are capable of. Okay, it's very important that you prepare a good resume, which I will be talking next. Okay, how to prepare a good resume, what's the importance of it, everything. Okay, so please stand by for that. And the second one is, see, whenever you go for a placement process, be it in the campus or outside the campus, it's very important that you know about the company very well. Okay, so know about the company which you are going to attend to, visit their website, see who is the CEO, what they are doing, what are the technologies they are using. Okay, be it core or IT, it's just general. Okay, so visit the company, see what your future lies inside the company. So decide for yourself. Okay, the next one is prepare. Okay, tell me about yourself. See, the basic question in each and every interview which is happening everywhere is the first question, tell me about yourself. So I would like you to utilize this time right now to prepare something like an essay or a story of your side to share few things which are very well beyond the scope of resume. Okay, don't include everything from the resume and say it like orally. It's not, they don't like it. Okay, they have already a paper which tells all your things, skills, everything from your resume. Say something out of the box. Okay, say that you are interested in sport. Say that you like playing games, something like that. So say about where you stand as confident. Say how you did projects, how do you manage team in projects, something like that. Okay, it helps you a lot. Just prepare an essay. You don't have to by heart it. Okay, just point yourself. Okay, where are the points which I need to say to the interviewer. You will also find this question on the internet very well. You can find some answers which are really good and which can help you to crack the interview. The fourth one is that, see, whenever a question is thrown at you by an interviewer or someone else from the campus, okay, take a few seconds, okay, before answering any question. Think what you need to answer. Don't just blabber out anything. Okay, just take a few seconds. Don't take a long time. Okay, they will think that you don't know anything. Okay, so make sure you also explain them what you are thinking of. Okay, so make sure that if they are asking you any question, make sure you go through the question, explain them what you are thinking of, how do you like to say it, okay, and then answer the question, okay. And also, some people like myself, get excited by throwing some questions or seeing problems. They're easy for me, okay. But it is a place where some people go wrong, okay. Even though you know it, don't get too excited and finish things off in a hurry and lose it. Okay, that's all. And also utilize the full extent of time given to you. Okay, the time is given for throughout only for you. Okay, utilize the whole time, revise and recheck every single question again and again in the first and second round. Okay, and also the important process next to resume is that project you have done. Okay, see, whatever project you have done, please go through every nook and corner of it. Understand how your project, made. What are the processes involved in it? Okay, what are the missions involved in it, or something like that. Okay, be ready to answer anything asked about it. Okay, they can ask you anything from the project. Just so they don't have to necessarily ask from your project. They can ask some part of it or some process of it. Please explain me that, like that. So make sure you know your project very well. Even though if you are done it in team, make sure you discuss among your teammates and understand what's exactly going in your project. Okay, this is a very good opportunity so that you can make the interviewer understand that you have done some projects which are very valuable and you can also share with them. Okay, and also these times of free time, you can do plenty of projects online. Get experience from practice. Okay, please practice some project. You don't have to complete it. Okay, just start a project, whatever you are liking, whichever you are interested in. Okay, just start a project, go through it. How do you progress from the initial stage? Just go through it. You will get some experience from it, and also just don't focus on theory. Also practice it. That's what I would like to say from my side. Okay, these are the advices you can give. As I said, I will be talking about the resume process, how to create a resume or something. Resume. Okay. See, first of all, as I said, told you, the importance of resume is very much valuable. It is what shows you what you are capable of to the interviewer who doesn't know you at all. Okay. So make sure you create it, really good. Okay. And also would like to, share a, yeah, there was some disturbance. Sorry. Also, I would like to share your experience we had as final years. Okay, while going through the process of econ systems, okay, placement process, what happened was that we had a initial test first round. After that, many of us got selected for the next round, which was interview. Okay, but what happened was that they actually had before said that the interview will be conducted the next day. But what happened was that at that on that day, they wanted to go through the interview process on the very same day itself as this first round. So what happened was many didn't bring resume at all. Okay, they were, there was chaos everywhere. HOD was asking everyone to, go and print the resume from either pen drive or Google Drive, whichever you have, wherever you have it. Okay, many of them struggled to, find a good resume, their resume. Okay, so I ask you always, I ask you always to keep two copies of resume and two passport size photos of yours to always with you. Okay, wherever you go, even though you don't have placement process today, please have it in your bag, just like your ID card or your pen and pencil or stationery. Okay, see, the art of the resume creation is an art. Okay, basically an art. You need to show every skill of yourself in a single paper or multiple papers. It's up to you. Okay, it's really an art. Okay, so make sure you make it very simple. Okay, don't elaborate everything. Make sure just point what you have done so that if you can explain to the interviewer when asked. Don't put every essay inside the resume. Okay, make sure you pinpoint the point which you are going to which you have done, and make sure if the interviewer asks, explain it. Okay, don't put the whole point there, which it shows the interviewer that you don't want to talk. You will be giving the paper and he can read by himself. Okay, so make sure you don't do that. Okay, make it short. Okay, it doesn't have to be 5 pages long or 3 pages long. Okay, you can have it even in a single page, single side. Okay, it's enough. Okay, it doesn't matter that if you have a single side or two sides of page. Okay, make it decent. Okay, don't have some different fonts or different styles. Okay, make sure you follow a good font like Times New Roman or Calibri, something Arial like that. Okay, make sure it's neat, decent, and to the point. Okay, don't waver off in between inside the resume. It shows that your mind is also wavering off. You don't know exactly what is happening there. Okay, there are various forms of resume which is there in the whole world. Okay, resume is something which you create. There's no standard, way of showing resume. It's up to your creativity. You can show it like anything. So I would say the anatomy of perfect resume. Okay, first you need to have your name, your though it's not necessary that you have to put your whole address there. Make sure you give your contact details. Okay, either a mail id or phone number, or your LinkedIn profile. Okay, have this in the top starting of that. Okay, and then there is also key skills which are present there. Okay, key skills which you have implemented. Okay, in the skills which you possess. Okay, be it technical or soft skills or something like that. Okay, put there out. It's not necessarily that you have to follow this particular format of resume. Okay, you can align it a little bit right side and make yourself. I'll be showing some couple of resumes also. See, since we are freshers, we don't have any work experience. Okay, so whatever experience we have is in terms of education. So make sure you put your education, your college education as well as school education there, and make sure you put the CGPA, the degree which you are doing, and the duration of it. Okay, and also add some projects which you have done, some hobbies, the awards which you have get if you have got any award, something like that. If you have won a certificate or an award from any reputed company or even anything. Okay, even from our college, you can surely show that in the resume. Okay, I'll be showing a couple of see this one, this particular one. You don't have to necessarily show a resume like this. Okay, it doesn't have to be too much decorative. Okay, it shows you that you have invested plenty of time in just creating the resume itself. You don't have to necessarily have the decoration in part of you, and also the font. Okay, make sure it's very readable. Okay, these fonts, if you see that it's very small and it creates a tough the process for the interviewer to read it. Okay, you don't have to necessarily view this bar graphs like this. Okay, you can just mention the skills which you are purchasing, and they can test it out. What how good are you at that particular skill? Okay, and see, this is what I wanted to stress out a little bit. A format like this will be very good for a fresher from an engineering background. Okay, just have a glance through this. It includes the name, the contact, as I said, email, phone number. You don't have to necessarily put the address there. And the career objective. Make sure your objective is unique. Okay, don't copy it from anyone else. Make sure it's very unique and be to the point. Don't exaggerate a bit. Okay, make sure it's to the point. And also, as I said, education qualification, the degree which you are doing, and your school education. Okay, and also give some percentages which you have from your schools also, and where you studied. Okay, if you have done an internship, you can. Okay, or else you can go for projects which you have done. Make sure you explain the project within one or two lines. Okay, don't elaborate everything there. Make sure ask the allow the interviewer to ask questions from it so that you can answer. Don't put every answer for the question in the resume itself. And also, as I said, you can include hobbies there. Okay, things like that, whatever you want. So awards like that, so that the interviewer knows where you stand, how good you are. Okay, yeah. Next one is that final resume I want to make from Satya Nadella. If you know, Satya Nadella is the CEO of Microsoft. See, he's a a giant in tech industry. Okay, but see his resume. It's to the point and it's very neat, decent. Okay, I just want you to make sure you follow this kind of resume in your future. Okay, he even though he has a lot of experience, he didn't go beyond a single piece of paper. Okay, make sure you can if you can try, you can make sure you get every single information in your resume into a single side itself. Okay, it doesn't necessarily be 2 pages. See, if you make it more than a single page, what I would say is the interviewer will be hesitating to move forward. Okay, he will be hesitating to go beyond the first page and look at every single point which you have present there. Whatever resume you are showing is just for him to understand who you are, what are you good at, okay, and make sure he throws questions in. So just follow these kind of resume so that it's decent, to the point, simple, and just that's it. Okay. So I would like to end my presentation by saying that you are only confined by the walls you build yourself. So make sure you expand all along in your future, aim high, and reach the sky also. Thank you one and all for listening to my presentation, and so that I hope this would have been a useful experience for you. And I hand over the session to Hari. Thank
Yeah, Jayesh, thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hari, I have.
Thank you, Jayesh.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Jayesh. What all the points you explained is useful for all the students. Once again, I will convey my heartful thanks to you on behalf of third year students, ma. Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah,
ma.
Hari,
Okay.
you can start. All the best for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, yeah, just a
Welcome,
second.
Ishwar.
I will be sharing my contact details in the chat. If anyone missed it yesterday, I will be sharing you in the chat. Okay, you can proceed, Hari. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, ma. Welcome, Arishwar, for your session.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
ma.
good afternoon to everyone who have come to this session. Yeah, this is about the overall experience about my placements in RMD Engineering College. So, let me start with it. Yeah, and this session is going to be like whatever I faced in my placements, like from third years, which started like from sixth semester, I think. So I'd like to thank our department HOD and Jayodhya ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
So yeah, just I'm going to start it like how was I when I started my college. So like I was just an average student. I didn't score very high in my 12th grade, neither in my 10th too. So and I joined via management quota, and I also chose Triple E, and I that's because that I didn't have any interest in any streams. So I went to Jayprakash Gandhi, who is a career guidance counselor. So he told me to go with Triple E as it had more scope. So that's how I joined Triple E department. So now after this 4 years of college, this is what I have done. This is what the college helped me to become right now. So CGPA apart, I got placed in a good company. I scored good results in AMCAT. I did good in programming. I did good in projects too. So these are something which I'd like each and every one of you to become after. You should be satisfied with what you have become after this 4 years. That's what it really is about. So. So initially, what I would require from each and every one of you is to set a goal to get placed in a company. Like when we came to the college on our first day, they will take a tour around our Triple E department to show its whereabouts. And that's when we saw that the placements in Triple E department, like Soliton, we didn't have any in that year in Triple E department. But later, when we went to second day, we saw that Soliton, and even in the previous year, like 2015 batch, they had got placed in Soliton. So we thought, why is that so? Why is getting into that company so big dream for everyone? And that's when some of us we decided that it should be our aim or goal to get placed in that company, and also that we should be challenging to take up new tasks, to be challenging to ourselves. We should set up higher goals and aims. That's what it's all about. So yeah, that's when we like I set the goal for Solton Technologies. And when I say it as we were four friends who would hang out together all the time, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, till second year, it's like brushing up with all what you have done. You have gone through the same thing like myself. So we would have zero is like for triple E department it was KPIT and big data in nowadays. So I was first initially went into KPIT, then we decided to go to big data because we thought machine learning was more trending, and it is still the most trending technology right now. So we just didn't have any idea, and we wanted to choose which is best for our future. So that's what it is. Until fourth semester, my CGPA was a little bit 8.74, so it was a little bit higher, and later it got lower. So what I'm trying to emphasize is that CGPA isn't the most important thing, but we should be careful about it too. So that's why I'm mentioning the CGPA here. So yeah. So in the fifth semester, it's like all of a sudden half of the engineering course had been completed, and now we are going into the second half where we are going to face so many things like placements uh, and core subjects too. Like only in fifth semester we have more core subjects than any than the previous semester. So uh, we are obviously little good from yeah, like from first year we will do our projects. In first year we did projects on Tesla coil wireless power transmission, and we tried it with air and vacuum medium. Yeah, then we started to get into projects, and up till third year we maintained the same. So technical side we were very strong, but we didn't know we didn't have any experience in programming side. And when we joined Tripoli, we thought that programming was like it was just not necessary for us because we were getting into the core stream. So yeah, and it's all just about that. And we prepared for AMCAT test in starting from fifth semester. Like we had Face and Smart. They came and helped us to see what were asked in AMCAT, etc. And yeah, sixth semester was like a huge deal for us. That yeah, that's the time when I started to think what we are going to do in our placement. Like we are already into it without our knowledge. The time ran so fast. So yeah, when during yeah, I remember that it was on January 1st that everyone would take a resolution each year, and probably they fail to follow it, or some might actually end up following it. So when I saw the year it's going to be a major year for me, I thought that I should make a resolution. And what are the resolutions is that I should step away from most of my social media, which consists of almost my full day, because I started to hang out with in Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. So I cut everything out of my life, and I started doing skill rack from day one. That I thought that I should do every daily challenge and every daily test, even though I didn't know anything about a programming language. Though I was from computer science department, I didn't really read anything in my 11th and 12th, to be honest. So this is how it started. And yeah, what I did is not only being friends within our department, I improved my links with our other department students too. Like we will go out for symposiums. That's where I met most of them, and will go and speak in buses in our colleges. So I had many friends in CSE, IT, ECE, and I departments too. Uh, each and everyone had a different perspective towards placement, and their approach were different. And since we all sat together and we'll speak about each other's pace of getting placed, they helped me a lot, and they did really. And we were like symbiotic things. Like we each will help each other with some other things. Like I was strong in technical and aptitude, some other was strong in programming. Like similar things might happen. So that really made me learn certain things even more better. So and then after 3 months, that's when like in March we started doing CPL in skill rack, and suddenly I thought that I could do something better, and we tried and got my first silver medal in skill rack on March. Yeah, then we attended Google hash code. Like myself and other two legends in skill rack to be said, they are Vishal Periyasamin and Amin Basha. They both, we three were a team, and we tried to attend Google hash code, which will actually happen during midnights, like from 11:30 to early morning 4 o'clock. That was the duration, and the question will be similar to machine learning. but like only the algorithms will depend on it, or we can just say it as data science. So that's how the question will be. We can use any language that we are comfortable with, and we have to solve the question, and the test cases passed will be our results. So yeah, though our score was low, but we made it into the top 400 or top 500 criteria out of more than 1 lakh teams around the world. So yeah, this was like a big revelation for us, because I didn't know coding before the third month from that time. So no prior knowledge to programming, though we were able to achieve it. Like the other two from my team, they were very bit knowledgeable, and the connections that I made, the things that I learned, all this made it possible. So after completing all these things, like in March, we had sat down with our friends and we started to discuss about what we knew about placements. So let's get started with the placements. Yeah. So these are the important aspects of placements. Considering aptitude, we have quantitative and logical, which are the most major parts that comprises aptitude. So quantitative is like profit and loss, and speed, date, time, many problems related to it. Yeah, so quantitative, we have to solve each and every question to understand its logic, and that's how it will be done. And we'll discuss about it in the later slides. Then programming skills. Uh, what we were given suggestion by seniors is that we should be strong in one of these languages, C, C++, or Java. And then people skills. Why I added this specifically is that most of the people who are attending various companies are very obsolete in this part of this area. That is, they don't know how to deal with people, how to attend a HR. Like some may get frightened, some may be overwhelmingly confident. Which these four criteria, the interviewers from the interviewer's point of view, it will be like a negative aspect. So I'll discuss about that too, and then problem solving in real life. So like this is a major criteria based on which many HR select employees. Like we should be able to solve real life problems in a fast and efficient manner. So let's speak about that too later. And then technical skills from our side, it's obviously core. And for if anyone are interested in product companies, then we should be like technically strong in technologies like machine learning, web application development, or Windows application, or Android application development. Other than that, data science, which also includes big data. After machine learning, we'll have deep learning. So all these criteria, and also for core, it's IoT is obviously the most aspiring technicality that we have to see. So these are the things that are to be covered in technical skills. And then resume, it's been already been explained by Jayesh. I think that's obviously enough for it. And being presentable is just a momentary thing. That is how we are going to face our interviewer. How should our physical posture be, and etc. So we'll discuss about it. Yeah. And for aptitude, I have just included what should be done and what should not be done. And the books, many of you have asked about what books should we choose to prepare for aptitude. Like when we were preparing, the face materials were itself very good, and we got good results by preparing from it too. I still this date I didn't use any other book for preparing for aptitude. Yeah. And if you need more questions to challenge yourself, and you have a lot of time, and you want to make yourself better in aptitude, then you can obviously go for RS Agarwal's books. The quantitative aptitude book is what my friends used, and it was really effective. A modern approach to verbal and non-verbal reasoning, it's really good, but I don't think that will be useful for placements in college, but it will be useful for real life and placements outside college. So it's a really practical book, and you can try to use it, read it if you have any time. So yeah. And other than RS Agarwal, Aryan Publications produce good books too, and all these books are effective for higher education also. So to prepare for competitive exams, you can use these books too. Yeah. And then just these are about what you should do and you shouldn't do in your aptitude. And just one thing to be concentrating is that you shouldn't get frustrated if you don't get answers in the start, because you have to practice, you have to know everything, and then only if you didn't try enough, then only you can be angry at yourself. So there is getting frustrated is something that you should be avoiding while learning something. Yeah. And yeah, skill rack aptitude tests, they are underrated. Why I mentioned that, because many of us, when we were doing skill rack, no one did this aptitude test. Like only one or two from our department, they really scored high and took time to prepare for these things. But I think actually even I didn't do such many aptitude tests in skill rack. But I think if you really did aptitude tests in skill rack, you could easily ace the first initial rounds in any company, because it's time really tight in skill rack, and you wouldn't easily score full marks in it. So I think, yeah, that's a good point. Okay. So programming skills, yeah, there is no shortcuts in learning programming languages. Obviously, you would have already known about that. You have to sit and learn each and everything. If you are planning to get placed in product or IT companies, you have to prioritize programming about everything, because certain product companies, they don't even conduct the aptitude round, and they directly select you based on your programming skills. So it's something that you should think upon. Like if you are planning to go into product companies, then should obviously get a lot of insight in programming. And if not, if you are planning to go into a core company, I would suggest that it's okay if you don't know coding till this point of your time. So even after starting to learn like languages like C or Java right from now, you can easily ace it up. Like you can get placed in core companies very easily. So important, why I mentioned C and Java as important languages is that C is just the basic of everything, and you have to be strong in your basics, because that's where everyone will be eager to point questions out from you. So and Java, because Java is a basic for every other application oriented developments. Like for any software that you can see today had once been developed by Java, developed in Java, I mean. So Java comprises object oriented programming. That's the major difference from C and Java. And why I'm not suggesting C++ is that uh, we can cover most of the technologies with C and Java itself. C++ may be the background of some other advanced programming languages, but up to practicality, it's not being really implemented in many places. That's what I have seen. So I think that C and Java are suffice. So you can start with that. Yeah. Then for core and IT companies, many have asked that what should be prepared for core and IT companies, because some are aiming for product companies and some are aiming for core. Both are studying programming languages, but they don't know where to stop or where to go for next topics. So this is what I am suggesting. If you are going for core or IT companies, you should know functions, data structures like stack, linked list, queue. These are the basic data structures that everyone should be know, and they are to be implemented in some of the advanced programming in core companies too. So you must know it. The functionalities of this, like stack, you have to do pop. Uh, similar functions should be executed in each languages. So you should know how to implement them. And algorithms are something which you have to learn. Like C algorithm is for prime still n. That's a good example, because no, many of us didn't know that we can solve prime until n order of n log n. These order and these stuff are just time based complexity terms, and I don't want to get too much into that, but it's really fast algorithm. That's what it means. So such algorithms must be learned even for core and IT companies, and they do ask it about it sometimes. And then try applying aptitude skills in programming is that we learn shortcuts about how to find HCF and LCM even in our aptitude. While we learn aptitude, we'll do these problems. So if we know the formula to do that, we shouldn't try to do the to find HCF or LCM in while coding using the primitive method of finding all the factors and adding or multiplying it. We shouldn't do the similar stuff. So you should directly apply the formula and multiply and give out the answer, because the complexity of program will be reduced. So that's it. And for product companies, yeah, you have to know any one of the following technology, because that will be very useful when you are sitting for placement, and they will ask you to do any one of the technology in front of them to let them judge you how much good you are in what you learn. So yeah, let's see about that. I'm going to cut short this one because it just has every study material where you have to refer. So I'll share this PPT with each and every one of you in our group, so you could learn what are available here. So yeah, each and every technology there's a specific site from where you can learn, from where you can implement, and the frameworks which are better for each. So yeah, you can see this in later part. So, coming to people skills. So effective communication is all about to be considered as people skills. So we have to communicate effectively to the one who is interviewing us. Now it's not only about the interviewer's perspective. Even in our daily life, when we speak to others, the way of communication affects each and everyone around you. The tone which you use to speak, that must be clearer, and it must be implemented in a way that you ought to implement it. So think about that. And then you must be persuasive when needed. Being persuasive is that compelling the other person through just speech. You are not making or forcing him to do something, but the way you spoke is arousing him to do that thing. That's the way you must speak. And when needed is that you shouldn't always speak like that, like intriguing others. So when needed, you have to speak like that, and that's really good to be a leader in any team. Like if you show such skills in group discussions, they will think that you are good in leading people. So that's one of the attributes of a leader. So see to it. And then yeah, like when we are in front of an interview, we should sell ourselves to the interviewer. Like we should say our betters and what we are good at really. So while expressing these things, you should be like a salesman who sells even let it be a pen or let it be a huge piece of land. So whatever he sells, he has to sell it with all knowledge in it, and he wants the buyers need to satisfy to get satisfied that. So you should consider all these points while speaking. Yeah. And other things are just general. And yeah, the stress interview part is actually we when we had our trainings, they said that we should be very much prepared to stress interviews, as we don't know which company would keep it and how it would happen. But actually, from my point of view, the stress interview were only conducted in one or two companies, that too very rarely, like one or two candidates experience stress interview. But what I am suggesting to do is that you should just handle the situation calmly. That's enough. You have to think at the moment. You know that it's going to be a stress interview. If you see the interview space itself, they'll be intriguing you with questions that you are uncomfortable at that position. So like they will ask you to get out. They will ask why are you wasting our time. And at those moments, you have to calmly sit and face them. Like no, is there any part, any mistake that I have done, you can say to me so that I improve in my future. So such good attributes will show that you are a managerial material. So yeah, that's about people skills. And then problem solving. Uh, just I would like you to go through about it in YouTube. Like you have good channels like Brightside, Tedder, and Riddle channel. Problem solving. I'm just mentioning about a riddle solving. Like we have many riddles which people like to solve. So actually, the HRs, they are really into people who are able to solve problems. So they would like to ask riddles to you. They would like to test your patience and your mental abilities. So if you are good in these things, it's really great that you are already doing well in your placement training. So yeah, I just included playing chess because I need to play chess. Other than that, you can also do some mind testing activities, like you can play any other soft games. You can play like I couldn't get any games to at the moment, but see, you have many games that test your brain, that will riddle you all the time. Like I like to solve puzzles, I like to play chess with others. So similar things, there might be some other things for you, so you should be doing it other than just sitting and studying. So give time for everything and priorities for everything too. Yeah, and these channels, just you could go through with them. There are many riddles. I'd like you to see it and see how they solve it, and there are many methods, so it will be good for you. And then technical skills, since we are from triple E, those who need to get into core, the technical skills are about controllers, processes, and the projects that you do, what components you used in them, and what are the properties of those components. These are the technical things that you need to know. And the word skills here represent that you are doing a project, and obviously everyone who are to be going into your core companies, they need to do projects. There is no other go, because that's the only place where you will be questioned. Even if you give your area of interest as some other subject, they really want you to do a project. And even some of my friends gone through doing KPIT Sparkle, and they got placed in KPIT, and they're undergoing their training right now. So that's really a good thing, because projects helped in their placements. He didn't attend any other major rounds too, just this one on programming in C, that too with basic questions. Yeah. So you have to concentrate in projects. I did see that most of you did your projects, and I saw them when I was there in my seventh semester. So it's actually appreciable. But let's see. Okay. Now you have to get participating in hackathons too. Like SIH is a really grand one. Other than that, there are many small hackathons which I like to suggest you to participate in those things first, instead of directly jumping into Smart India Hackathon, because it's like being done in a large scale, and you don't have much scope in winning it. But when you start with a small scale and then you go in a stepwise manner, you will be easily able to achieve. Like, even though if you don't have any time right now for concentrating in such things, just yeah, point to remember. Yeah. So, and other than this, the technical skills for product based companies will be like just the technologies that I mentioned earlier. That will be your technical skills in that criteria. And then resume, JS discuss about it, so let's skip that part. And yeah, being presentable, as I said earlier, like proper dressing, how you have to stand, the posture you maintain, uh, and mannerism. These are the things, and you should take care of this. And there are good YouTube videos, and even our face trainees, they will come and say about how you should be attending, how you should be presentable to your interviewer. So just be attentive in those periods, and I think they have completed already these sessions to you, so that will be more helpful than what I will be saying right now. So yeah, that's enough. And yeah, now I just came back to my experience, how I attended AMCAT and pre-AMCAT and AMCAT in short ways. So yeah, actually initially what I was able to achieve is that I got good scores in aptitude, though I got a little bit score in automata. I just tried to improve it later, and I got good scores in main AMCAT. So that was the thing. I don't want to get into the scores too much. So then we got into our first placement, that is Zoho internship program. Yeah, let's go and see. Yeah, for Zoho internship selection, those with 6.5 CGPA and higher are allowed, and two standing arrears were eligible. So this was like the great opportunity for those who have arrears or who have low CGPA to get placed in a very big product company. So yeah, don't miss out such opportunities. That's what I will be saying. Even though if you have arrears, even though if you have low CGPA, many might say that you couldn't get placed in a good company, but this is a great opportunity. So we'll see about that. And the first round consisted, while during the internship, the process of selecting was very much different from during placement. So during internship, the first round consisted of code snippets. Like we are asked to find the output of each codes. They were from C language, and 15 questions were asked. So after that, we had 10 aptitude questions, where 8 of them were logical. So this was the criteria. I'll share the questions if I get the PDF. I actually asked it from one of my friends who is working there. He had it, so I'll share it later. And then yeah, in first round, totally 794 had been had been a candidates for the first round, and only 63 of us got selected for the second round. And Jayesh and I were a part of it. So we got into it, and then in second rounds were conducted in two parts. The first part consisted of one program. They gave the question. We have to code it in C or Java. They allowed C++ too. And what actually happened is initially they refused to allow Python in some teams. Like there were 4 teams which came on that day for recruitment. Teams are like they are from different products that Zoho had developed. So I was into some other product, the other were into some other product. So in a certain product they allowed Python, but in certain others they didn't allow. So this is where I suggest that you shouldn't use Python as a main language. You should get into C or Java. So this is where it will be really useful. Yeah. Someone is speaking, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, the second round, in the later part, that is in the second part of the second round, we had 4 programs to be solved. Like they were a little bit tougher. um, I will just give out the questions later so that it doesn't consume much time. So there are 4 programs. Each program should be solved within a tenure of half an hour. So, like we had 2 hours for the second part, and everyone finished a little earlier, and certain of us were staying back, and that's when like I didn't get to solve one problem, and I was really frustrated with it. But I just when the HR came and saw my paper, they just asked what happened, why are you staggering here? And then I explained to him that I couldn't get it at this point of time. Should I try it later? I will just try it after I got to home. Even though if I am not selected, I'm happy with it. So I had that positive attitude of just try to solve it instead of yeah, just shouting about it to others. So I thought that yeah, I should be able to solve, but I didn't solve. So that was my idea. So I solved 3 out of 4 programs in that part. So after completing, they made us wait for the results. Like in 10 minutes, they came and said that 21 of us were selected, and suddenly I got to hear out my name, and that was a moment of that was a mesmerizing moment because I didn't expect to be selected at all. Because all others were, I thought that we have to complete the whole thing to get selected, and like to be selected out of 794 and to be part of the top 20 is like really a outstanding accomplishment for me at that time, because I just did coding for the 3 months. Why pointing it out? Because even in 3 months you can learn and master a programming language. That's what I want you guys to believe in, because most of you have started coding since this lockdown, and you are being a little negative about your situation, that I don't know this or I don't know that, or what should I do? I don't have any idea. But you just have to sit and learn. That's all I expect from you, and just by doing that, you can get placed in Zoho too. So just a example for you, and yeah. And yeah, after I went in, it was a 1 month internship where they taught us about the technology that team was into. Like I was into Zoho Assist, which was an app for assisting technical problems in our PCs from like it will be like a team viewer. Like you can share the PC's contents to another person who is a technical technical who is from a technical IT team, and they will solve the problems in your PC. That's what the app is used for. So I was in that team. uh, I will be that what we will be doing is we'll be developing an app for that. That and already there was an app, and we are doing the back end maintenance job there. And I was assigned for back end maintenance, the or developer role. Yeah, when it is required, they will ask us developers to sit and pitch up the ideas and how we have to implement it. And what was the most difficult part when I went to the internship is that I didn't know Java even a little bit, and I was only good in C, and I know C++ and data structures in C++. So even though I insisted on getting C++ or even Python and machine learning, they didn't have any of those, and they gave me Java because that's where they had vacancies. So I was forced to learn Java. They gave me materials, and I was to learn till advanced Java within a tenure of 10 days. That was the time limit given to me, but I took more than 10 days. Like in the 20 days I took more than 13 days to learn Java till advanced Java, and we were made to create websites and run servers in the background. That was being taught there. So after I completed that, they asked me that whether I am comfortable, whether that I want to continue this, and what will be your scope in a company. That was the question from their point of view, because I took a little bit much time than they expected me to complete it. So what I thought was that I wasn't very good at this job, obviously, because I just learned the language. I need time to pick up my pace, and I will require a lot of information and learning process to do. So what I did is I asked for machine learning or data science, because I was in big data COE. So I did know little bit more in that than web development. But they said their team didn't have any scope for it. So what I did is I asked, no, I'll take off from here. I'll see whether I'll get placed in some other team in Zoho. That will be in later placement. That's what I said to them, and I just got off from Zoho. Though I came off from Zoho, the experience that I had there was really amazing, because I learned a lot within a short span of time. Let's see about that. Like after I came from Zoho, I thought that what I should do to improve my situation, because even after getting a good opportunity, I couldn't make the most out of it. That was my intuition. So what I did is I completed the remaining of the thing that they gave us training material. I then created a website. I created a front end for a website with the back end, and connected a server, and made a full stack development. And like I did it within 1 week, because I didn't spend much time other than like developing the web app. So I mostly didn't eat at all in that 1 week. I was very much frustrated, and I thought I should do it. So I did it, and then after 1 week, like I had 2 days, then suddenly they said that Soliton is going to come. Until this time, I forgot totally about Soliton, even though I made it as my dream company on the first day of college. So yeah, then I thought, since we dreamt about it, why didn't we take any action to get placed in a company like Soliton? That was my thought. So I thought that, okay, let's see what this company is about. So let's learn about this company, and let's go and get placed in it. That was the attitude, because I was sure that I know everything that is required for the company. So let's see how the whole process was. And this is an important note. Like if you are going to attend a company, the best website to look for about the company is Glassdoor. So I have seen many sites for companies other than the company's own site. The other best site is Glassdoor, because company's own site just comprises of the products that the company has. But Glassdoor will give you the interview experiences and many more things, and you do have the review about the company and their interview process. So when I saw in Glassdoor, they mentioned Soliton to be one of the best 300 companies in the world to get placed. So it did come under that category too. So, and I saw how the placement process was. So let me explain about the placement process in Soliton. So yeah, Soliton Technologies. Initially they had pre-placement talks, they'll say about the company, the products that it has, the teams that it has, and what are the standings in international level. Soliton Technology is actually about they are connected with the National Instruments and Texas Instruments. They do products for them, and we have their LabVIEW developers. LabVIEW is another programming language which is far more better for application development and driver based application development. So that's it. Then they have web development. They do have Python projects. They do have machine learning. So these were all the scopes. And while we went in, unfortunately, the embedded system part of the company got closed, because there were no more projects from it, and they had more success in LabVIEW part. So they thought that to improve LabVIEW part is better, and they closed the embedded systems division. Yeah. Then we'll get in the placement process. So the eligibility criteria was that we should have a score of 75% for the CGPA till that semester that the results have been out, and 12th and 10th. So if we clear all these criteria, we'll be eligible for Soliton. So the first round consists of 10 questions. These questions are from the areas that I have mentioned: physics, quants, coding, probability, and maths. That each had two or one had three, and the other topic had one similar. So like in physics, the formula, they would give the formula. They want you to apply the formula in it and find how well you can interpret the answers. And quants and probability are other general questions. Coding, they used to have pointers, memory allocation. That's what they will try to test. It's just one single piece of paper they will give the questions. So it's not very much elaborate and all. But they will ask you to explain the answers in an elaborate way. So you should write the answers, then you should explain how you got to the answers. And if you did both the jobs perfectly, you will be selected from the first round. And like they had a cutoff, like you have to score 5 out of 10 or you have to score 4 out of 10. So if more than 100 students score 4 out of 10 too, they will take 100 students for the next round. That's how the best process was. But unfortunately only 16 of us got selected. So they kept the cutoff as 4 for us, 4 out of 10. And actually I got 7, I remember. Yeah, I got 7. And the mistakes which I did will come in the later part of the interview experience. I'll just say about that. So 16 of us got selected and 3 from our triple department got into this first round. Yeah, the first round, the second round was basic programming round, which is conducted in RMD CSE Bay1. This is being conducted in a yearly basis at the same location. So that's why I included that. Next, round 2 and 3 are basic coding round and the HR interview round. The basic coding, they will just ask from C language. No other languages are allowed, and no other compilers are allowed other than Turbo C. So you should do anything that you want only in Turbo C. Here they will just test you whether you can get input in all possible ways that is available. Like if you don't know the number of integers to get as input, and even then you have to get a whole stream of input, whole stream of integers, you should know how to get that. So such questions were asked in there, and you should you should know the way pointers are used, etc. So yeah, that basic programming round was a little bit easier. So yeah, no comparison in that. Then yeah, we had the technical and the HR interview round. So initially I went to HR interview where we spoke with the head of HR department. She's CEO's wife. So like she tested our integrity and our future company. Like integrity means how well we are equipped with modern day technologies and how much we are interested in the company. That's what I meant by integrity. So our future in the company is that how you see yourself with Soliton. How do you how much do we want to get into Soliton? How much we know about Soliton is all that we included in HR round. And that's what I spoke there. And yeah, then we went into technical HR, and HR and technical personal HR and technical HR will be conducted while you are doing the basic programming round. As soon as they call out your names, you have to go and attend both HR and you have to come again and continue with programming. And yeah, the technical HR round was a little bit intriguing for me because the CEO himself was sitting inside there waiting for us to question us. So yeah, when we went inside, when I went inside, he saw me and he just said, "I have seen your resume. It's really good. And okay, I like to see your first round papers." That's what he said. And when the HR got the first round paper of mine, he showed me that where I went wrong, and he wanted me to correct the mistakes at those places. So he taught me, like I did a mistake in probability and in pointer. He showed me and he said, "Do you know the answer?" For pointer, I didn't know the answer because I just started from a space behind where it was to be started, like printing a string. So I did a change, and for probability, he sat and taught me that this shouldn't be done like this. This should be done in a certain way. So he was so patient with me, and when he did this thing, I thought that why would a CEO come and recruit the employees by himself instead of doing it by with HRs? And why did he teach me? Why did he take his time to do such thing? And that's when I thought, I just asked this to him too. What his reply was that it's he was really into the company, that he want to spend all the time for the welfare of the company. So he thought that employees are the most important aspect for Soliton. So that's when I decided, whatever it has to be, I should get placed in this company. So yeah, and then by this time, after completing technical HR, only six of us proceeded for further rounds. Yeah, let's go to next round. The next round was conducted on the next day. Like we had it for Friday and Saturday. If I remember dates, it's the 14th and 15th June 2019. This was on Saturday. The next day, when we came in the morning, they asked us to write an essay. It was for us. The topic was how you see yourself after 5 years or after 10 years. I think. Yeah, that was the question, and we have to write it. And what I suggest is that you have to see yourself in scope with the company, because if you are planning to leave a company even before joining the company and to try to become, yeah, like I have to join in Google, if that was your perspective, then this is not the right place, because you have to know that the company wants you to be a part of the company. So you have to include about the company too, and it should be realistic. So yeah, that's all about essay writing. I just wrote about that I want to be an entrepreneur. Like the company had a policy that you should be in the company for 3 years after getting placed. It's just an oral complaints that we give to them, not a written thing, or there is no penalty if you break it. But it's just an oral commitment that we are that's showing our integrity to the company. So that's it. Yeah. Then that was asked to us. So we wrote the essay, and then came the advanced coding round. The advanced coding round had a use of basic data sets and algorithm. Like yeah, I used like stack structure. Yeah, we had to implement stack at one certain point of time. I had to use structures at another time. Like I had a huge amount of data, and I had to sort it with the data structure. So that were being asked in that. So not very advanced topics will be covered in this thing. Advanced coding round, you can actually solve it if you are very capable in doing DC and DT. So that's not something you have to be worried about. Yeah, and that's it. Then uh, they actually gave us only two questions initially, but I solved those two questions, and I was sitting ideally for a long time, and I asked for more questions, because I'd like to know what were the questions that the HRs prepared for us. And the other HRs who came with the company are the company's employees themselves, who are like one of them got placed from RMK itself. Like yeah, two of them from RMK, I think, previously placed students. They came as HRs this time when we got placed. So yeah, they prepared the questions, and we had to solve them. So I asked for some more questions. I solved five of them, and they said there were no more questions. You can just sit for now, and that was from their side. Then we went to next round. And the next round, that is the round seven, was really a different round which no other company had. Like they asked us to design a product. Like what we were asked is that. One project will be given, project idea will be given, like for us it was solar orientation, like solar panels are there, but it's not that much efficient, because it will be slanted only in one direction, and the sun goes from east to west. How to make it more efficient? So when that was asked, they asked us to make a pitch an idea, discuss it with all the other five members who are being with me, who are being selected with me, and we have to come up with a solution along with the algorithm to make it work in an infinite loop. And that's how we have to do it. We had 2 to 3 hours for that, but we really finished it fast. Like everyone agreed to the points that I said, and even the HR thought, okay, there is a yeah, we could go with this idea. So then we got into final HR. Final HR is something where you will be asked about, are you okay with our company's policy, what do you think about this interview experience, similar stuff. So after that, they asked us to wait, and they said the results that we were selected. Like four of us got selected in Soliton. So that's how it was. So I just explained the whole experience to let you know what will be asked from the company's perspective. Probably the Soliton Technologies perspective. So what I did is after the failure in Zoho, uh, I realized my mistakes. I sought out to put them in order, and then I prepared for Soliton. Uh, so just as I say, don't stay worried if one company went without recruiting you or you get rejected in any part. The only thing to consider is the effort you put into getting placed. So if you think that you did the best you could for getting placed, then that is itself a great accomplishment. Even though if the company didn't select you, so that sort of attitude will bring you to great heights. Yeah, and always surround yourself with positivity and confidence. Never give up on anything that you decide to achieve. Like at the last moment when I thought, yeah, I should go for Soliton, I did never go back from my word. I always, whenever I spoke to the HR, I said, yeah, I have to go get into Soliton. That's like my dream, and that was really my dream. So as soon as they said the results, I was overwhelming with happiness. They took like they had many activities. So we had a lot of fun after getting selected. So on the last point is just for the sake of this presentation, I was being too dramatic about saying all these experiences. So don't be as dramatic as me. Yeah. And what I did after placements, like even though I got placed in one company, my thirst for knowledge towards placement didn't stop. Like, what should I do for getting placed in other much higher package companies? Like, I didn't want to leave Solidon, but what I wanted is to learn what will take to go for other companies. So that was my perspective. So what I did is, for initially I helped my friends to get placed, because the those who are with you when you get placed, they feel good for you, and at the same time they feel bad that they didn't get placed with you. It's not only about that they didn't get placed with you, it's also that they are also they are also like they need to get placed in some company, then they can also share the happiness with you and you can share with them, and vice versa. So like I sat with them, I helped them to get trained in programming languages and aptitude skills and whatever it required. I conducted interviews with them. I suggested many sites through which they can get solutions for the problems, etc. Anyone? Okay. Yeah. And yeah, I just like to say that from our department, I helped more than 20 people to get placed, and from all from our whole group of institutions, I helped more than 30 people to get placed, and almost most of them got placed in day zero companies. So I felt very proud about helping them get placed, and I even like celebrated a day for it. Like the last person of my friends group got placed on December 3rd, I think. That was just before seventh semester, and we celebrated that day by sharing sweets or chocolates with everyone in our department. So we enjoyed a lot like that, and it will be a really good thing to improve our morale within our friends. Like we have to help each other, even though if we got placed, and you shouldn't stop thinking about placements right after then. So just a small thought about that, and then yeah. Yeah, challenging ourselves, like I said in the initial slide, we have to always we shouldn't rest like if we have got what we wanted, that's it for us right now. You shouldn't get relaxed like that. uh, like if you need to grow, you have to challenge yourself on a daily basis. That's what I think, and that's what I do. So what I did is I attended various other company with higher packages. I will always try to go till HR round, and I will say that I know I am already placed. I just want to get the placement experience of this company, and I'll come out of the company. So this is what I have been doing. Other than this, I have went to other off-campus companies, which I will discuss personally with each and every one of you. But the company which came to our college that I went till the final rounds are Comvault and Wipro PRP. For Comvault, actually, it was like an IWAS that the company didn't call any of us. So we didn't know what to do. Like only four of us got selected for the final round. We knew that we got selected, and we didn't get any calls later. This happened just after January. So Commonwealth is like that. And Wipro PRP, it's really good. Like if you know Java, little bit better core Java, you could actually get into Wipro PRP. It's actually Wipro's package is 3.5 or 3.3 lakhs, I think, but the Wipro PRP package is 6.6 lakhs. You'll be directly put into developer position. So if you I went till we wrote all the PRP tests, and then what happened is when they called out for a HR interview, direct HR, yeah, if you did good in PRP, you will be directly called for HR interview. There will be no aptitude or programming rounds before that. So that's a positive attitude to it. Yeah, that's it. When they called for HR, they said I am already placed in core company and it's dream core, so you shouldn't go and attend the other company. So that's it. So I stopped with that. And also I didn't attend TCS or any other day one companies too, because I thought that we should go towards a company like startup to get our initial experience or to have a wider idea about placements. So I had that perspective, and yeah, I did get a lot. I did learn a lot after just the internship with Soliton, and I'll say about that later. I don't that this it comes within the scope of this presentation. So and yeah, integrity matters a lot. Why I'm saying this point is even though I attended other companies, I got selected into many companies. I didn't go to those companies. I just stayed the company which chose me initially. It's because it's like understanding between yourself and the company that you shouldn't give each other for others. So when you have such an attitude, the company will be doing greater things for you. So I'll just say about that in person, but this is what it is. So it's always suggested to stay and learn in the company unless you're out of scope. Like if you think that the company has fallen behind from you and you need more development, that's when you can go out of one company. Till then you should be in a company that you're promised to be in. Yeah. And these are the other day zero companies that comes to our campus. These companies came to us actually. Like Mbit Wireless didn't come. They actually gave the date and they didn't come. Other than that, all other companies came. I probably think so. Yeah. So you can look out for these companies too. And Upstream Triple E won't be eligible. Other than that, Multicore, well, these two companies Triple E won't be eligible. Other than that, every company Triple E people can go and attend. So I'll just share it later. Yeah, these are some general guidelines after all these things. Like we are going to end the presentation very much sooner. So, like, these are the points that I have learned. Like, don't go grasping many sites for coding. Like, yeah, I mistake here. So, don't go for many sites to learn coding. Initially, stick with SkillRack. If you think SkillRack is falling behind from you and you know little bit more than what SkillRack teaches you, then you can move on to HackerRank or HackerEarth. That's enough, and that's what we can be. That's what we are able to do in our college. Like we need more time to go for other sites to learn. So this is pretty much enough for you. Like SkillRank is enough for core placements, and if you need to learn more and learn more algorithms and implement it, then you can go for HackerRank and HackerEarth. And CodeChef is for the I'll suggest it for those who are willing to go for product companies, because it's very challenging and it's a nationwide contest. Like if you get good results in it, you will be recognized in CodeChef, and there are many lots of things in CodeChef. You should actually go and check it out. So try that thing. And yeah, others are just general points. You can look at them later too. This one is important. Like if you have any doubts, you should look in the internet before asking anyone else, because at the end of the day you will learn more than what you need to learn. And that's actually really a good thing, because if you ask to someone regarding a question, they will just give you the answer. But when you try to search it and explore and find the answer, then you will learn how it is connected to your question, in what way you can represent the answer, what are the other suggestions that you can get as answer. So if you know a lot, you can easily give a thought about that question. So just try to go to internet before clarifying it with others who knew the answer already. And codes, I hear that many of you copy codes in SkillRack and other sorts. I think at least from now, please stop coding. And yeah, I am seeing many are asking doubts in your chats. I'll just finish just one more slide and I'll start the doubt clearing session. So yeah. Yeah, and this, like, don't take it as negative, but this happened to one of my friend from E&I don't want to mention their name, but yeah, they turned up like a great one. Yeah, what is that? Even though you think that you know everything that you need to know for facing a company, there is a clear chance that they might not select you for that company. So you should be prepared mentally for getting selected and not getting selected. You should have the fear of not getting selected at the all point of time while attending a company. Only that fear will drive you to attend more. Yeah, that's how we can say about it. So, and also, yeah, even though uh, had did many things, luck and time matters. But if you put enough hard work, the luck and time always favors you. That's what I mean by this point. And I did attend the Solitons internship for 2.5 months in the past few months. So I will share about that in a later session. And that's it for now. So thanks a lot everyone for hearing it patiently. I think that I took 1 hour of your time. Yeah. So sorry if it's being lengthy. These sessions I planned them not to make them lengthy, but they end up being so. So let's get into doubt clarification. I'll leave this slide as of it is now for your information, or I'll share it with you later. So it will be easy. Yeah. Just a second. Okay, let's see the doubts that you asked. Okay, can Python be helpful for us in placements? Yeah, Python will be helpful in certain part, but for basic programming, you need to know C, C++, Java. There is no other go. You have to learn C, C++, or Java, any one language at least. But Java is like some companies they ask only for C, some companies they have asked only for Java. So it's better that you prepare them initially, because once you get into company, then too they will, if they had scope for Python, then they will take you for Python. So if you are planning to prepare, just prepare with C or Java. That's what I'll suggest. IBM hackathon. Okay, some others wanted me to remind that IBM hackathon is open now. Who are really interested in that, you can go. Minimum is one member to maximum of 4 members can be a team. So yeah, you can discuss within yourself who want to be a part of team, and I really want everyone to go and attend hackathons. So suggest some project websites. Okay. So I don't think for projects. Okay, okay. Actually, what you can do is I forgot to say one point. For projects, initially you can start doing with the existing projects. I'll share you the link in the group that we have. So I did some projects which are already existing, and I learned what were there, what they use, why they use that particular controller or that particular kit, why did they use, and I learned about them. So yeah, I will suggest surely. Thank you for reminding about it. Okay, I did get from. Yeah, I am surprised to see that I am getting good feedbacks. Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, one of your friends had asked about how should we approach Java? That is the stages of learning in Java. So yeah, initially Java, you have to just start by printing hello world. That's like every language we should start by printing it. And what we have to do is we have to know the syntax of each and every small thing, like how should we declare a number, how should we define a integer, the number is integer, float, double, what are the data types, primitive data types, uh, and what is Java actually. It is like we have class from the start. Like without a class we couldn't run a Java, because it's purely object oriented, unlike C++, because C++ is also object oriented but is partially object oriented, because the main can be outside a class, but in Java the main should be inside a class. So something like that, that will be the beginning stage of Java. You have to learn each and everything from the basics, and I would suggest that Java T point and tutorials point are the best site to learn Java if you are a beginner. These are the best, and after that you could go with skill rack in time being. Like you can see in skill rack, then the same topic you can see in those sites too. So these two will give you a lot of insights in what is available in Java and how you can implement them. And the framework that you should use for Java is Eclipse. Eclipse is used by all the companies which I have seen, and which my friends have got placed, and most of the technologies they do develop in Eclipse only. So there are tutorials in YouTube to how to install and use Eclipse and how to make projects in Eclipse. So you could see, you could download Eclipse actually. So I'll just add that to everyone. Framework, you can actually use Eclipse. Okay, then yeah, sites for Java. Java T point, tutorials point. Other than this, if you want to learn any algorithm or any data structure, I'll suggest Geeks for Geeks, because it's some others who are like us who got to know about those data structures. They will explain these data structures to us or these algorithms to us. So if you had those you can go for yeah, you can go for Geeks for Geeks. And Stack Overflow is like, it's a little bit more advanced than Geeks for Geeks, but you will get a professional answer for whatever question that is being posted in Stack Overflow. So don't miss Stack Overflow for any reason, because it really will help in when you're getting into technologies. Today I'm developing LabVIEW applications, and Stack Overflow given us LabVIEW application clarifications. So yeah, yeah, yeah. To be honest, like if you're good at programming, even though you have arrear, I think that you should stick with programming, being strong in it. Uh, it's obviously good that you clear the arrear as early as possible, because not all companies are going to accommodate the arrears and they'll take it into account, and they will not consider your application. But uh, only in case of certain companies, in day zero, like what I knew is the Zoho, they allowed till 2 years. And yes, if you are good in programming, I would like you to learn a little aptitude, so that you could crack the first round. After cracking the first round, if you are good at programming, obviously you'll be selected in Zoho. I will guarantee you that, because I was very much bad in programming. Even then, if I could get selected, why not you? That will be my question to you. So yeah, even though if you have arrears, you could go. Okay, now for higher studies, who are in this okay, those people who are for higher studies, what I am suggesting for them is that like in our batch who studied for higher studies, they just went up with sites which dedicatedly prepare them for higher studies. I'll just share the link. Please remind about it in to me in WhatsApp, so that I'll send the link for that site. Many are gone like that. And what I did, I too wrote GRE examination. I scored 327 out of 340. So what I did was just learn the aptitude for most of the part. And I, instead of learning vocabulary in English, I did learn vocabulary in English through some sorts like what I did is I'll see a lot of series like British series and some other like that. So I like to know how they would spell and how they will implement a sentence as a whole. So in communication, that's the important part where you should listen how practically it's being implemented. Okay. So highest education. Other than that, there are lots of programs like IDP India. They are promoting a lot in higher education. There are a lot of seminars. You can go attend them. I attended them and I got so much insights. Like right now, I can suggest that Canada is the best place to go for higher studies. I did all the homework about which place to go. I considered places like USA, Canada, Germany, England, France, Australia, and even Singapore. They had some universities were available. I did see a lot of question paper in IELTS, TOEFL, GRE. So other than this, I did solve many GATE question papers. So if you are into GATE, so doubts regarding these things can also be asked. So yeah, that's what these are the things that you can. And other than this, CAT exams, bank exams, these are there. I'm not so much into it, but I did prepare for bank exam in my first year. I tried out several exams just for learning sake because I was good in aptitude from beginning. So like that was my criteria. Okay, for those who are waiting for your review results, who got arrears unfortunately, uh, the review results will be out like even before the placement starts. I guess that will be the case for you because only after they plan the semester exam, we probably will get the companies. So what I think is you could, if you are lucky enough, you will get your review results as soon as possible, maybe within end of July. So don't worry about it. Uh, but there was a case in our year who had arrear. Unfortunately, he was a topper, though he ended up with the unfortunate arrear and he didn't attend any day zero or day one companies, and he only got his review results at later day one companies. That was his case, and we all felt very pity. But there are some opportunities even after day one, like some high package companies will come as day zero. Like we had KPIT too. KPIT, if you go through projects, they will allow you with arrear, but after completing degree, you have to clear the arrear while before completing your whole degree. So that was a criteria, and one of my friend is placed right now who has arrear in KPIT. So there is nothing to lose hope in it, but it's better that you get the results prior to your day zero placements. Okay, which country is best for triple E students for MS? Okay, considering triple E, like triple E students can opt MS in any stream. Like they can go into deep learning, artificial intelligence. Also, they can go into power systems. They can go into embedded. There are many streams. I would like you to be specific for any stream that you have in your mind. Okay, so I'm not mentioning any names. So if you got my point, you just reply it to me privately. And some tips about interview. Yeah. What should I say? Interview, technical interview, there are just standard ways of doing it. Like you have to know the area of interest that you give in your resume. Like you have to know the subject through in, like you should be very much strong in that subject. Only then you should add it in your area of interest. And in area of interest, this is a main point. Like you have to like if you're going for a core company, you have to add subjects like DLC, EMT, not EMT, electrical machines, are some subjects that is related to that company specifically. Like for in case of Soliton, you can give embedded system because we are using some things which are being discussed in the subject of embedded system. You can give C because C was part of your subject. So similar to that, when you're going for product companies, you have to give your area of interest as the technology, and also for triple you can give IoT for core companies, and for product companies you can give IoT to machine learning, web development, and these criteria will come into area of interest. And you for product and IT companies don't give EMT electrical machines and all, because they know have zero idea in that, and if you give, they will question you that why are you being strong in those area, why are you applying to this company? So you have to be careful about giving your area of interest to them. So yeah, that's a criteria that you have to take care. So other than that, in interview, yeah, if you're strong in the area of interest, they will ask questions, and if you answer them properly, there won't be any much discussion in it. So they will just ask you to go for a personal HR. And in personal HR, like there was a problem last time that uh, the company was located in Pune or Bangalore or some other place other than Chennai. So if you're attending such company, you shouldn't go and say in final HR that I don't want to go there. I want the company and I want to work from Chennai. Certain people said that to the HRs who came from that company, and it got into a big problem that you know that the company was not in Chennai, then why are you asking that you should be in Chennai? Why did you attend and waste our time? And that was the argument from the HR side. Like they do hate these things to happen, right? So just know about the company well enough to before attending it. If you don't like or don't want the company, just say it in the technical HR itself. Don't go till the final thing, because even aptitude and programming they can correct, and that's a little bit lesser job for them to do. But if you're going and getting selected in a technical HR, they will actually take your application and do processing with it. So after that, if you go and say that I don't want to go to other places because the company is located there, then it will be really frustrating for them, and it will affect actually the all other placements that come later. This actually happened in KPIT last year, because in between one girl or boy, they came and said that they don't want the placement to be in Pune or something, and the HR got pissed by them, and he started rejecting everyone who came to his panel later. So yeah, that's something you should be careful about. So just always see about the company. You must say the positives and negatives with the company, that what you think will be positive for you in that company, and what you hate, like what you don't want to get into in a company. The company might have some bad aspects too. Like I don't want to mention any company or anything in specific, but if you find anything, then it's better that you just say that to the HR openly and ask about it. You can clarify any doubts openly with them, and just try to be calm. Because once you become impatient, you will start to blabber, which I did obviously when I tried to prepare initially. I will blabber anything that comes to my mind, and I'll start saying something, some nonsense that I will just start laughing at it. So that shouldn't be the case. Like even yeah, that's pretty much about the interview. And just be yourself. Be prepared with the questions. Try to think with perspective at that moment what you want to say. So don't be thinking too much, and even before getting into the interview hall, don't think what will be asking. Don't ask to someone who comes from the interview hall what they ask. That those things shouldn't happen, because they will be watching you all the time. So these are something you should be seeing about. Then yeah, sustainable and renewable energy for higher studies. Where will it be suitable? Mm, Actually, sustainable energy, I will actually say US, but the situation is not perfect for Indians to go to US. There are lots of issues, like recently that black who got killed by the cop. These are some things, yeah. And then now Indians, they cancel the visa, and COVID-19 is a huge perspective which changed the whole higher studies thing. But the US is the best for renewable energy. Other than that, if you want to go into energy related, you can go to Canada, or I will suggest Australia. Though, but right now we couldn't give out any country because of COVID-19. So just hope that this they find a cure as soon as possible. And yeah, so should I know core concepts even for IT company placements, or else it is not necessary? Okay, okay. So yeah, actually in IT companies there are certain subjects even in our core which will coincide with some perspective of IT companies. As I said, microcontrollers and microprocessors, they even use that in IT companies. IoT is used in certain IT companies, and there are something may merge with our department core and IT companies. So you have to think about it. You have to see about the company's scope, and then you have to answer that. Okay, should I? Okay. How to prepare for code snippets and logical process. Okay. For code snippets, yeah. Actually, I had a link stored in my mail. I'll just see to it one second. Yeah, actually, I suggest Geeks for Geeks themselves have a good amount of code snippets, and they do have different sets of questions in each. So even Geeks for Geeks are good, and later you can go for, yeah, if you even just search it in Google, many sites which are coming are good enough. But I'd like you not to prepare in the perspective of code snippets. I want you to prepare the language itself, because once you know the question and answer, it will be again like an Anna University examination. Just what you're learning, you're going to write it. You're not going to be intuitive about it. I want you to learn how it's getting implemented, and then you have to implement it with the question that you have been asked at that time. So don't prepare for code snippets. I don't think that's really good. But you can see for the questions, maybe how the questions are being asked, how you can answer. That's how you can see those things. But don't try to find answers. But code snippets you can actually find in any sites that you can search in Google. And logical puzzles, YouTube. I'll just share the channels. I'll share the PPT with you. It has its channels. Not more than YouTube videos is needed, because even the questions that are asked in Google are in YouTube, so you can go and ask it and see what they are asking for. Yeah, and that's okay. And logical puzzles, I do have a site for it. I did see it in my during my placement. I'll try to send that to. Okay. Yeah, just a second.
Harishwar, Harishwar.
Yeah, ma'am.
So 7 minutes, ma. 2:55.
Okay, ma'am. I'll just try to complete with whatever the questions that are remaining.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, ma. Okay.
Okay, something I couldn't get what you asked. Okay. Okay, apart from books, where YouTube videos are useful for learning aptitude. Actually, there are many YouTube videos for learning aptitude too. Yeah, you could go and see that. But I think it will take a lot of time for you to go and see a video on how they solve a problem. Since we are studying in college, I think that we should be able to read it from book, because visualization should already be within ourselves. We shouldn't go and look into videos for aptitude itself. Like if you don't know to solve that, at that time you can go and see videos on how do they solve. But on a regular basis, I'll suggest only books for you. So, yeah. Johnson control actually are not for triple E, so they are only for E and I, and they select in two protocols. Like initially, they will have an internship program. You can go through with it, or they will then come for college for placements too. So yeah, they do have contest, but triple E from my till my year they didn't allow any triple E students from our college. So that's anything apart from that. Do anyone want to have? because we have only 5 minutes left and 3 o'clock they do have another webinar to attend. I don't want them to disturb. Okay, and yeah, if this is to be the end, I also want you to give like what you want from webinars, like because webinar now becoming most part of your day, like from morning till night you're doing most sessions, you're doing programming practices, etc. So I would personally want each and every one of you to message me like in my WhatsApp what you want from webinars, what are the doubts that you have. Like if I didn't solve much of your doubts here, I will try to solve it maybe in chat if that's okay, and then I'll discuss it in public with everyone. So anything regarding placements, higher studies, competitive exams, you can ask me. I think I have more insights in all. So any doubts you can come. So shall we end the session, ma'am? Shall we end it, ma'am?
Any other questions, ma, from student side?
Actually, most of them ask the questions privately. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
here
okay.
reply to them in public. That's it.
Okay, ma. Shall we wind?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay, okay, ma, okay. I think the session is more informative to all the students, ma. So my special thanks to you because you are given more informative and more things to all the students. Definitely, this is useful for all the third year students. I really appreciate your support to conduct this training program, ma'am. Once again, I will convey my sincere thanks to all the students because without students, it is not possible to conduct this function in a nice manner. Once again, thank you. So, tomorrow section we will meet once again. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, ma. Harishwar.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, ma. Thanks, ma. Okay.